So we're going to move on to the flippers in a minute, but something you may have noticed, the observant ones might have gone, the eyes got bigger. What's going on here? This is one of the things that's worth remembering when things sort of change and you go, oh, I'm trying to work out why that happened. Well, the reason that it happened is that some of the values you set retain those values. So for example, when you do the head, the shell, when you go down and have a look at the shell, what you've done is you've set a line width to 10. So when you go to the eyes, that makes them, they get bigger, and the reason for that is because the stroke, which is the line around the outside, got bigger. Now, there's a couple of ways you can get out of this. You can just reset the line if you want, but this is another way you can do it. Just scrap stroke altogether. So I'll just copy them out here for a minute so you can see. And all it's going to do is fill. Let's see what sort of an effect that has. Okay, that puts them back. They're about the right size, so you don't really need stroke at all. So we'll just take them out, or just leave them commented for the moment. Something else you may have been wondering about as you work your way through the script, if we just have a look down here, when we did the eyes, we have a begin path and a close path. When we did the hexagon, we have a begin path and a close path. When we did the shell, we took the closed path out. Now, I'll show you why. I'll put the closed path back in and show you what it does. You may have worked this out already from previous examples. It's probably not the greatest way of going about it, but it works. So if I put that back in there now and run this, this is what happens. So it closes the path. It goes back to where it came from. We don't want that. We just want it to do the curvy bit and not go back to the start. So that's why we don't have it. So I'll just take that out and we're back the way we were, which is what we want. We're going to add two functions, and we're doing it in order, so the last thing we draw is actually the hexagon at the top. The tail and the flippers are all that's needed to finish it off, and when we get it, that's what we'll get, our finished turtle. So let's go back over here. First of all, tail. We're using those wonderful quadratic curves. So draw tail, fill stroke, stroke style, two quadratic curves, and those are the values. So we move there and we draw the two curves and we get the tail. Then the second function which we draw is the flippers, and we could split it up, but we'll just do them one after the other. So here's the right front flipper, cut and paste, different move, extra quadratic curve. So there's three quadratic curves that you can run. You can just, if you feel like it, you can go back over to W3 Schools into that project you looked at, or the example that was in there, and maybe throw those numbers in and see what you get. But those are the sets, three sets of numbers, and the left front flipper is the right front flipper copied and pasted, and the X values become negative, which puts the flipper on the other side. So the right front flipper's up there somewhere and the left front flipper's up there. Then, not quite a copy and paste, but pretty close, back over to the right hand side at the back, or the bottom of the turtle, those are the values, and copy and paste, those are the values. So lots of copy and paste, and once all that's put in, you save it, you get your finished turtle, which is pretty close to the original template.